Michael Jordan, leaping, twirling, flying through the air like a man unleashed from gravity.
Jordan! Look at that! Holy cow!
I mean, the first time I ever saw Michael Jordan, it was our camp, and I said, I think I just saw the best 6'4" high school player I've ever seen.
There's just no limit to what Michael can do.
Your tongue hanging out.
Here comes Michael, tongue hanging.
But he has that tongue out so much, I've always been worried about somebody coming up
Let
with
me tell you a little bit about this guy. He works so hard.
Oh, good night from Lady High School, Wilmington, North Carolina, a superstar.
You see the time remaining, 32 seconds to win the championship. A 1-point lead for Georgetown. The tie, 18. Won the 1982 NCAA championship.
Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
We started practicing our first day in preseason, and I got a call after practice from an assistant coach and said, "You didn't mess this draft up."
Here is the man. They call him Mr. Jordan in Chicago. The standing ovation.
The first time he stepped on a professional floor, all you had to do was look to see. There was an artist at work.
Michael feels that he can do whatever he wants, and you're in some sort of a different zone when you're out there.
I'm not sure people really know how good this guy is.
Nobody like him. Point blank. I've never seen nobody play like he plays.
It gets it away to Jordan. Showtime for Mr. Jordan.
He was the first to wear the number 23. You know, he had the it factor. There was a James Dean, a Lone Ranger quality to Michael Jordan. Can you fly or what? And on the court, it was perfection. The way he wore his uniform, the socks low, the sneakers. He was the first to do so many things.
And Nike's coming out with a clothing line called Air Jordan.
Oh yes, his own shoe. They call it Air Jordan.
It's as hot as a Cabbage Patch doll right now. The endorsements are fast and furious.
Jordan's getting rich. His Chicago salary is reportedly more than $500,000 a year.
And he's been picked to start in Sunday's All-Star game.
Participated in the dunk contest.
Yeah, three times.
He was the first.
All right, here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. One of the hot candidates for Rookie of the Year honors as he slams it home.
He wants to indicate where he's going to take off on this dunk.
Here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls.
First guy that would literally fly through the f***ing air, slamming in dunks, where you would see it on the highlight reels on like ESPN, you would see it on the news, and people would just be standing there shaking their head going, how the he was flying.
You can fly, can't you?
Because there's a whole generation of kids now who's going to swear by LeBron James. Because if you're watching LeBron James, it's hard to imagine that anyone was ever better than that. But kids, I'm here to tell you there was someone better than that.
Jordan just rocked the cradle.
And when they started trying to crown him early on, he didn't believe in that. He felt I didn't belong, and I felt like I had to prove myself.
I love it. Everyone's picking us to do somewhat bad, and it takes all pressure off this team.
Michael Jordan on the breakaway.
It's time to slam. Now there's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Think about Michael, scoring 60 in Boston Garden in the playoff game.
Chicago had a 12-point lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics.
Against the Celtics, who had one of the best teams ever.
Jordan trying to use his quickness, and it works. Michael Jordan with 44 now in the ball game. Jordan cuts the Celtic lead to 2.
Larry Bird said, God
in shorts waxed us when Michael Jordan dropped 63.
Jordan with an all-time record 63 points in a single playoff game.
You take this for granted now, but just the dunking. And just him being in the slam dunk contest, wearing his shoes. Everybody wanted those shoes. Everybody wanted to see him to dunk. That's like all you cared about.
Dominique versus Michael in the dunk contest was like Hagler, Hearns, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier.
I said, I got one better. I'm going to kick my legs out.
Here's a heavyweight fight. This is what everybody was building up for.
Impressive.
They both got 50s on their first dunks.
Incredible. Michael Jordan needs a 49 to win.
Michael, he understands the moment.
48 ties, a 49 wins.
Fly is really magical, just at the sheer majesty of his movement.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you an interesting story about the greatness of Michael Jordan.
Doug Collins began to say he wanted to pass the ball to Dave Corzine, and that's when Jordan slammed his fist on the clipboard and said, "Give me the effing ball."
The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot. Sellers has Jordan. Jordan. At the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago.
Born with killer instinct because you can't learn it. You can't create it. You can't teach it. You can't coach it. You're either built that way or you're not.
Who in God's name would stop Michael Jordan? First of all, the game was far more physical when Michael Jordan played.
He never complained. Rick Mahorn and those guys beat him to a pulp.
And he still averaged 30.
360, tongue moving.
You had it 2 over again, would you shake hands with the Bulls?
Absolutely.
Detroit Pistons heading back to the locker room. Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round.
And I said, I'm gonna really rattle his chain. So I went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, "Hey man, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow you out today." Jimmy, his eyes got big.
Stripped by Jordan. There's Jordan.
Michael has a streak in him competitively that I've never seen in anyone before.
Michael Jordan in 1991 came down on us with the right hand, tongue out. He switched in midair to the left.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Incredible. There'll never be.
The moral is you should not talk trash to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
For the Bulls, this team has its championship. Now it seeks its place in history.
I like this a series that features 2 of the NBA's premier players, Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler.
Competitor, the scariest competitor I've ever watched in any sport.
You see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe it. The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season. What may well be the best basketball team ever assembled.
Was that as competitive as anything you've ever done?
Best game I ever played in. Best game I ever played in.
Doesn't take much to get Michael going. Just a little something to tweak him, and it's on.
He never liked to lose. Mike always got that look.
when you see that look, just get in the damn ball and get out the way.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "There's a new sheriff in town." And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Mullen reads him so well, and watch out.
It's a watershed moment in the history of sports. Not just the Olympics, not just basketball.
Never before and never again will there be such a team.
When you mention the teams Jordan went through, those Knicks especially, I mean Mason, Oakley, Ewing, Jordan's going to the hole against them.
Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts! And the foul!
Homicidally competitive. Like really, like almost you could say he had a problem. He was so competitive. His entire life just revolved around beating other people. That's how he measured himself. That's how he measured everyone he played with.
There is a 7-second disparity between the shot clock and the game.
Child to foul him all the way. Then halfway foul him.
Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls have climbed the Mount Olympus of the NBA.
Chicago Bulls for 3 straight NBA championships.
Michael Jordan first retired from the Chicago Bulls in October of 1993. The sports world was shocked. Jordan dropped another bombshell. He decided to pursue a career in baseball.
I think the NBA without Michael Jordan is in deep trouble.
Just being given the opportunity is something that I can feel very privileged about. I mean,
Michael Jordan announced today he's coming back to basketball.
Jordan returns to the NBA on NBC at noon Eastern.
Yes, that was 636 days ago, so 21 months after his last appearance in an NBA game. Only 5.
The Bulls are 2-2 since his return, and one of the most asked questions in America, how is Michael doing? How is his return? His coach on the run.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset.
Look out. Starts out on fire. Michael is 4 of 5.
For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children.
What else? It's 20 first quarter points for Michael Jordan.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger.
And do you ask, is he back?
Those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
Welcome to Flight 23.
The Bulls were able to complete the dream season and win the franchise's 4th NBA title after defeating the Sonics in Game 6. Michael Jordan, once again named Finals MVP, his 4th MVP trophy in his many tries.
We're down to 5. Jordan, quick moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Now to 1.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Suffering from flu-like symptoms, made his way onto the court just moments ago, and as you see right here, looking a bit shaky.
I mean, it was the man could hardly walk, he could hardly breathe, and he elevated himself.
Jordan to the cutting long way.
if you give up, then they give up. You know, so I didn't want to give up. You know, no matter how sick I was, or how tired I was, or how, low on energy I was.
He's tied the game.
I mean, as long as he plays the game, he's gonna amaze us no matter what.
Yes! By the flu-ridden Michael Jordan. A performance that I think will go down as one of the greatest of his career. It is all over. The Bulls have won the title.
I think Jordan had been on the Titanic, it would not have sunk.
Michael Jordan with a takeoff and the crush.
One time we played the Bulls, we get off the bus, they smoking a cigar.
Before the game?
Before the game. And he's like, who's gonna check me?
Michael shakes the finger, and he
never seen a guy that I thought was as good as anybody I'd ever seen. 5 years later, he was 10 times better, and 5 years later, he was 10 times better.
Game 6 in Utah. For the Bulls, a win would mean a championship. For Michael, it would mean the cementing of his legacy.
What you do has to transcend the generations in order to retain your place as the GOAT. Here's Michael. He's got 21.
Michael Jordan always took his game to another level in the playoffs.
Jordan pulls up
like we've never seen before.
And connects with 45 points.
6 NBA Finals MVPs without ever allowing a Game 7.
Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds.
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen.
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
Without a doubt, the greatest basketball player of all time, and he still is.
And